finally I have time to do this Q&A. I want to say that this video is going to be violin related, because this is the video that I'm going to ask people to watch if they have any questions. So sorry if I'm not going to answer all the questions, but I'm going to do my best, and maybe I'll answer some extra stuff. We'll see. Alright, where do I get the sheet music? Well, right now I actually do most of my music by ear. Other than that, I've actually found some sheet music on Fiddlerman's page, also Ben Chan's page, and I usually use musescore.com. What's the name of your electric violin? My electric violin is a Yamaha SV130. I'm really satisfied with this instrument, but there's one thing that really bugs me, and that is that you can't change the shoulder rest. It's custom designed to the violin. It's not tall enough for my neck, so you can see I have improvised with a sponge. My acoustic violin is... I have no idea. This is actually a violin that I bought from a private seller. It's a used violin. It's like approximately 15 years old. This is the front of the violin, and I guess you're used to seeing the front, but I guess you've never seen the back of it. I really love the tiger stripes it has. It's so pretty! What strings do I use? This is a Piastro Obbligato, and this is a Piastro Gold E-string. And right now I have Vision synthetic strings on my electric. But I also like the Tonica strings, and I think I'm going to buy that next time for my electric. What do you use for recording? I record with this mic. It's a SE Electronics X1. I also have a sound card. Steinberg sound card. And on the computer I use the FL Studio Producer Edition. Alright, definitely I want to know how to learn your vibrato, and also why I chose the violin as an instrument. Well, when it comes to vibrato, I feel like I can't really give a lot of advice because I'm not sure if I'm doing it correctly, because I'm still trying to figure things out. But what I have done is watch tons of tutorials and try to find what's common through all those tutorials, because people explain things really differently, so it can easily get confusing. One thing though that I experienced: don't do this. It's supposed to be moving this way, not like that. So it's really just trying different things, and remember to stay relaxed, which is my main problem. And when it comes to the fact that I chose the violin as an instrument, it's actually not the first instrument that I tried. I tried the guitar when I was 16. I've been told that the guitar is an easy instrument to learn. If the guitar is easy, then I just have to pick that one, because I don't have any musical experience whatsoever. So I ended up buying a guitar, and I tried to practice on it, and I really didn't feel motivated to learn, because what I was dreaming about was actually playing electric guitar and doing like awesome solos with distortion and stuff. But I heard that it was a good idea to start with the acoustic first to learn the basics. Problem is, I wasn't motivated at all to play the acoustic guitar. When the guitar did fail, which is supposed to be an easy instrument to learn, I was like, what do I do now? And then I discovered Lindsey Sterling, and also other artists that use the violin not just for classical music but other genres, and I thought that was really cool. But of course I was not sure if that was even possible. I figured, like, if you practice something long enough, of course the scratchy sound gotta disappear at some point. So it was a little spontaneous, the fact that I want to buy a violin. And I wanted to do some research before buying the instrument, because I wanted to know exactly what I was getting myself into, how hard it's going to be. I ended up watching tutorials all night until 6 in the morning, because I was like hooked, like, oh my god. I was really fascinated by the instrument alone, like how it's constructed and how it creates sound and everything. This is my very first violin. It was an okay instrument to start with. But after 4 months I got really tired of the sound, and I felt like, is it me that really suck, or is it the instrument that actually is holding me back in a way? I bought my electric, and months later I bought a new acoustic, and I didn't sell this one. I couldn't. I don't know, they're my babies, I can't sell my violins. So right now it's a decoration on the wall. I play the piano, and I noticed you play the piano. What? What instrument is hard? I don't play the piano! When did I start playing the piano? Maybe you think that it was me in the collab video. That was not me, that was Susin B. You can check him out below here. But I actually do have a keyboard that I bought right before I bought my first violin. And it's standing in the corner collecting dust. I can show it to you. This is my bada. It's a M-Audio keyboard. It's a MIDI keyboard, so it doesn't produce its own sound. I can connect it to the computer and play songs in FL Studio with it. People ask me like, is the violin really a difficult instrument? How difficult is it? Difficulty depends on how much time you actually use to learn it, I guess. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. You can't like rush through it. There's a lot of things you have to learn before you can play the songs that you really want to play. I have enjoyed playing the violin as much today as I did when I first started. I think it's important to enjoy every second of it. Of course, I have times where I'm not motivated, but what I do then is to take a break. If I try to play the instrument one day and I feel like, okay, I'm way too tired, I've done a lot of stuff today and I just not motivated at all. Why should you force yourself into playing 1 hour, 2 hours? That's just going to make you more demotivated next time you're going to play. And I have learned that the days that I actually practice for 15 minutes, let's say, on a day where I feel like I have energy and are motivated, and those days I learn more in 15 minutes than I would learn on a bad day practicing for hours. Of course, this is different from each individual, but for me, I feel like I needed to make the violin fun and not feel like it was a chore. What to look when purchasing your first violin. What I learned from my very first violin teacher, I didn't have that violin teacher for a long time, but he actually helped me select this violin. And he said that if you buy a violin that is used from a private seller, you're gonna get a better violin for a cheaper price. If you're buying a violin, I recommend to bring somebody who actually knows about violins and can separate the cheap ones from the good ones. And generally used violins are considered to be better violins because the wood has had a lot of time to get drier and the vibrations the wood has been through have made the sound warmer, I think. What tutorials do I use? I'm going to leave the YouTube channels on the screen here. And a lot of people ask me what kind of books I read to learn the violin, but I haven't followed any books because I think I learn more visually if I can see it in front of me and try to copy it. That's just how I would like to learn it. And so I've been watching tutorials. And also a lot of people asking me like, when do you know what kind of technique you're supposed to practice next and stuff? And I practice techniques when I need them. Because I like find songs that I would like to play, and then I'll figure out that, okay, this one has staccato in it or something else, and then I would search tutorials on YouTube. Is there anything you know now but wish that you knew at the beginning? Yes, actually it's something that I learned quite recently because I got a new violin teacher, as you may know. And the main problem I have is the fact that I can't read sheet music while playing, because I have memorized all the notes in my head. Like, I've been sitting with my violin in my lap, with my hand positioned in the way it would be on my shoulder, and I would learn the song like this. Just memorize it so the left hand will go automatically. After that, I would put a violin on the shoulder, include the bow, and then I don't really need to think a lot about the left hand because my left hand already knows what it's supposed to do. The violin is really multitasking. I focus on learning them separately and then later include them together. I have just played the C scale, to be honest. I don't know the other scales. Like the times where I was supposed to learn songs that involved F sharp or B flat or whatever, then I would learn it for that song. I haven't practice the scales with the sharps and flats. Something that really helped me to learn the violin was the different tools that I found online, and one of them is the Fretless finger guide. After a month I got bubbles on this plastic and I couldn't play with it, but the month that I did have this, it really helped a lot. But this one, you might have seen it in my 1 year video. It's with frets on actually, and this really helped me in the higher positions, almost the entire fingerboard. I actually removed this from my electric violin after 1 month as well with this, but that was because of the glue underneath, because this is a plastic, it doesn't have any glue on, so it doesn't hurt the violin, but this has glue. But I was able to take it off with a cloth with just hot water. That worked, but I didn't dare to put it on for any longer than 1 month. Keep that in mind, it's going to be a little sticky. How long did it take to learn Crystallize, and when did you start learning it? I started learning it after a month. It was really crappy. I actually have a really crappy version of Crystallize in my 2 year video. When I had learned the entire song, which was at 7 months, I occasionally practiced and tried to play the correct speed and stuff, so I've been used a lot of time learning that song. How long have you been wanting to play the violin? Well, like I said, it was a spontaneous thing. I have never thought about the violin at all when I was growing up, because I didn't like classical music, and I imagined the violin was the instrument that it was supposed to be used for classical music, and that you couldn't use the violin for any other genres. Where did you get the He's a Pirate sheet music? I got it on Fiddlerman's page, link is in the description below. How has my practicing changed throughout the years? Something that I feel like I can relate to you guys. People say that if they don't practice for a while, they feel like they are getting worse. I have experienced that happens, but I feel like you have to allow yourself to take a half an hour just trying to get used to the playing motion again. Have you ever heard violinists looping a song? Would you ever consider trying it soon? Yes, I'm looking at some loopers right now and I can't wait to try it. Do you have any specific goal in your musical pursuit? I think it's like cool, the idea of being a street performer. So that is like a goal I have. Another goal I have, I guess, is for this channel to keep this channel alive, because I really enjoy uploading videos and I want to explore new things that I can do with the violin, because I was looking for that when I started playing the violin. I was looking for something that could tell me that, okay, it's actually possible to play the violin at an adult age. So what really made me decide to play the violin was watching people's videos on YouTube. I'm working on some requested songs that I'm thinking of adding something extra to the video. I haven't forgotten you guys. I know that I asked you guys for requests and stuff and I haven't uploaded any. I'm sorry, but they're coming. So people are asking me to make a Facebook page. I have already done that. You can check it out in the link in this description.